2026, a year that hasn't even fully arrived yet. But the warning signs are already flashing. Everywhere. Bills getting heavier, paychecks feeling lighter, savings evaporating faster than anyone expected, and people all across America are asking the same quiet question at night. Why does it feel like I'm doing everything right but still falling behind? Because the truth is, most people aren't going broke from one big mistake. They're going broke from 1,000 small pressures building at the same time. Prices inching up, interest rates holding tight, debt stacking quietly in the background, and everyday families trying to stretch the same dollar across more and more responsibilities. And here's the part nobody really talks about. 2026 isn't the year people start breaking financially. It's the year those hidden cracks finally start to show. But here's the good news. When you understand why this is happening, the real reasons, the patterns, the signals, you can protect yourself, your family, and your financial future, while everyone else is scrambling to survive the storm. So today, we're breaking down the truth behind why so many people are on the edge in 2026, and what smart, calm, intentional investors are quietly doing to stay ahead, even when the world feels uncertain. Take a deep breath, because the reality might surprise you, but the solutions will empower you. Before anything big ever happens, there's always a slow buildup, a quiet shift, a pressure that grows so gradually. Most people don't even notice it at first, and that's exactly what happened heading into 2026. It didn't start with a crash. It didn't start with a headline. It started with tiny changes, little signals, stacking on top of each other. Prices rising just a few cents at a time. Interest rates refusing to drop. Subscriptions, utilities, insurance, all climbing slowly in the background. And families trying to squeeze the same paycheck into a life that keeps getting more expensive. Day by day, week by week. It felt like time was speeding up while money was slowing down. Almost like we blinked, and suddenly the basics cost double. We blinked again, and the savings we thought would last a year barely survived a month. This is how financial stress works in America now. Not overnight, but over time. A time lapse of shrinking dollars, a time lapse of growing expenses, a time lapse of people doing everything right, yet still falling behind. But here's the part that separates everyday consumers from strategic investors. Most people only see the squeeze. Investors see the signals inside the squeeze. While families feel the pressure building, investors are watching why it's building, where the money is moving, which industries are tightening, which trends are about to flip. Because in this kind of environment, the people who recognize the pattern early are the ones who protect themselves first. There's a moment, and almost every American has felt it recently, when money starts feeling heavier than it used to. Not because something dramatic happened, but because everything around you changed at the same time. Groceries that used to cost $60 now hit $90. The same tank of gas suddenly takes a bigger bite out of your wallet. Your rent renews, and the number on the page makes your stomach drop. And credit card interest? It climbs quietly, like a shadow that never stops growing. And the toughest part is this. Most people never get a break. Not in 2025, not heading into 2026. Paychecks stay the same. But life keeps getting more expensive. So the weight builds and builds, until one day you wake up and think, how did I go from surviving to struggling? That heavy feeling, that frustration, that confusion, isn't just emotion. It's data. It's the math of this moment in America. Expenses rising faster than income. Debt rising faster than savings. Money draining faster than it can be replaced. But here's where investors think differently. They don't just feel the weight, they analyze it. They look at rising living costs as signals, indicators pointing toward where the economy is tightening and where new opportunities are forming. Because every time life gets heavier for the average person, money quietly shifts direction somewhere else. And the people who track that movement, instead of panicking from it, are the ones who stay ahead. Every time pressure rises, most people react the same way. They freeze. They hold their money tighter, cut everything they can, and hope things get better on their own. But hope isn't a strategy. Not in 2026. Not in an economy this unpredictable. That's where investors separate from the crowd. While everyone else focuses on what's going wrong, investors focus on where the money is going. They pay attention to shifts, consumer spending patterns, tech adoption, housing trends, energy transitions, market rotations. Not to panic, but to position themselves where stability is building, and where growth quietly starts forming before the headlines catch it. Because here's the truth most people never hear. Opportunities don't disappear during chaos. They just move. And the people who stay calm, who study the signals, who make small intentional adjustments instead of emotional decisions, they're the ones who protect their future while everyone else feels lost. This isn't about predicting the future. It's about preparing for it. And in a year like 2026, that mindset changes everything. If there's one thing this moment is teaching us, it's this. People aren't going broke because they're careless. People are going broke because the world is changing faster than their money can keep up. But the story doesn't end there. Because the second you understand what's actually happening, the patterns, the pressures, the opportunities hiding inside the chaos, you stop reacting and you start preparing. You stop feeling helpless and you start taking control. Smart investors aren't waiting for the perfect time. They're adjusting now, learning now, positioning now, so when the rest of the world feels unstable, their foundation stays firm. And here's the most empowering part. You don't need $1 million to think like an investor. You just need awareness, direction, and a willingness to take the next smart step. The pressure of 2026 is real, but so is the opportunity inside it. If you want to understand these shifts deeper, if you want strategies that actually work in times like this, make sure you follow, subscribe, and stay connected. Because the people who stay informed are the ones who stay ahead.